Here we are back again for the live stream on Wednesday night. This is the night that I promised to go live. The other nights have just been bonuses because I get in the mood and I have stuff I need to say, stuff I need to discuss with everybody. So tonight is we're going to talk about something that I originally had slated to discuss last week, which was why men lie. Why do they just lie? Just lie, 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 just lie like dogs, lie like rugs, just lie because it's a sunny fucking day. Just, what's up, people? Um, Let me see. Let me get my document up here so I don't need to look at me. I need to look at you guys, at your chats, and see what you talking about. Um, yes, and what we can, once I start going through these, exactly. That's my thing. Cause they lips be moving. That's why they lying. Lips moving equals man lying. But I made a meme like that at one point some years ago. And I should find it. But I'm working on I said my upgrade, my stream upgrade. I almost got it down, so I should be ready to launch it this weekend. And we'll see what happens. I'm working on all my graphics and everything, so I want it to look nice when I do it. It's probably still gonna be a hot mess because I still don't know what I'm doing. I'm still learning this YouTube version, but I'm ready to do something different. So as we go through these things, you guys are welcome to share the lies that you've been told that fall under these categories, or any other lies you want to talk about. It don't matter to me. But I've been thinking about this for weeks, and trying to recall, like categorize the and organize the lies. Put the lies in some kind of like context and outline form and stuff, so that as we discuss the lies will make some kind of logical sense, even though they don't really. But in some instances, I think you guys will understand. I mean, if we're honest as women, come on now. We got to be honest. There's some sisters out there that have a bad understanding. Anything you say, because I run into them here, they see the video, right? 99 people will understand what I'm saying. And then that one is going to take it and run off somewhere to Mars with it and be like, you said this and that. And I'm like, where did I say that? So it's like there are those women that have a bad understanding. It's like anything that you tell them, they gonna flip it around into something else, and it's gonna be drama. So we can understand if a man has that kind of woman. I mean, he might really love her, you know what I mean? But she causes drama. I mean, every single thing from his mouth. Well, what you mean? Well, what you talking about? Well, where was you? Well, who's that bitch? It's always something. So those women are gonna get lied to a lot more than the woman who can handle being told, the reality of what's going on. And those relationships tend to be a lot better as well because the guy can be himself. I'm scrolling up, I started, I'm gonna make an outline so I could be organized. And then I started typing. And I started typing some more. And then finally it ended up with like what probably could be an article after we finish the show, if I flesh it out some more. So let me get started with what I wrote. And remember, for those of you who just came in, this is the Debsterism channel. We talk about the issues in modern society and culture that affect primarily Black women, not exclusively. But that is, the primary focus of this channel, and secondarily women in general, because, for all intents and purposes, with the exception of racism and some other religious impacts and things that are really, really prevalent in the Black community, like the single parent homes and stuff. I mean, we have some other issues that are very separate and impact us more. But as far as like being lied to, being cheated on, being beaten up and, gamed on, all the stuff, that's the universal. I mean, all men all over the world act stupid like that. So anyway, like it's always say, any woman of any ethnicity is welcome to come here, to take away whatever, you find valuable here. But I just will not tolerate, though, is anyone dismissing the issues and the importance of focusing on the African American market because of the differences in things that we have to deal with. Show some respect. I mean, come here to learn, dialogue with the sisters, get up on what's happening with your sisters instead of coming in, like you Kool-Aid breaking through the wall, talking about, that's not just black women. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. So, hey, everybody. Joe, that is not the topic of the show tonight. Tonight we're talking about the lies that men tell. Now, if you want to ask me that as an advice question, there's the advice button that says "Get Advice" up at the top of the screen at the channel, and you can click that and submit your question. And you know, I will be happy to include it in a upcoming video, because I do that. I mean, a couple of times a week. I go through the letters that I get in. I pull some old ones from that people are sending like months ago that I still haven't answered. So I try to do mix with the old with the new, so everybody gets the stuff addressed. But that's and I don't discriminate. Men can ask a question too. Just do it respectfully. No name calling. None of that kind of stuff. And then we can roll with that, and you'll get your answer in within a week or so. So let's get started here. I think more than anything, one of the top complaints that women have about the men that they're with is that they can't trust him. It's like, I love him, but I don't trust him. Now, personally, I don't understand that, because I don't understand how you could love somebody that, okay, thank you. How you can love somebody that you don't trust. I mean, to me, like, your body and your heart and your mind, your very spirit, the essence of who you are as a woman, goes into the relationship with somebody that you love. I mean, that's our concept, that we're going to devote, ourselves to each other, and together we're going to hitch our wagons together, and this team of horses is going to take off, running. And so if you don't trust the horse that's supposed to be beside you to pull its weight and do what it's supposed to do, and, run with you stride step by step, then what do you have really? So, women say that a lot. And I tell you, I've been struggling with that for 20 years, trying to understand that sentence, and I still don't understand it. So, I think the openness and the honesty and that emotional intimacy that women are looking for, all that's tied up in trust. And that's why, they feel like they need to trust the guy that they're with, because otherwise, for women, our sexuality is highly connected to our sense of safety. And if you're always on guard, you're always waiting for the shoe to drop, you're always, questioning, doubting, not believing, you can't really relax into the relationship. And there's always extra undue stress for you. So see, that's why I'm saying I don't understand how y'all could love somebody that you got to be like all on guard with and stuff. I mean, where do you ever get to relax? Where's home for you? Your spiritual home. Where is that if you with somebody that keeps you like defenses up and on guard and suspicious and all that kind of stuff all the time? I don't understand. I'm telling you, I don't understand, but maybe y'all can make me understand or try to help me understand. So, what I want to do tonight is talk about like I said, the types of lies men tell. Because I tried to like put them in some groups, some categories, and we're gonna, talk about not only why they lie, but the kind of lies that they tell. Now, a lot of you women, you got to remember, you back a man into a corner. You don't make it safe for him to tell you the truth. And I'm not saying that that's your job like all the time. I mean, he got to be a big boy too. But what I'm telling you, this is the male psychology. Men are going to always take the path of least resistance. I haven't seen one yet not do that. And I'm even my own family. My brothers, as much, as love, and my daddy, and much love and respect I have for them. If there was two paths and both was going to get them to the same destination, and I think that's most people, right? Why would you go with the one that's going to be extra hard? You just going with the one that's easy, right? And that's what men do. So for easy in a relationship, when you're dealing with a situation, you're dealing with a woman that might be causing you some conflict and drama, that little cartoon bubble's going to pop up, and he's going to be like, if I tell her the truth, then if this is going to happen, it's going to be all kind of stress and drama. Whereas if I tell her a lie, we're going to be cuddled on the couch, and it's going to be peaches and gravy and booty time. Lie it is. And so that's why you guys, you get lied to so much. And so you gotta, you can't be like flipping out and stuff. I mean, the guy tells you some stuff about himself. It might not be really what you want to hear. It might not be delivered in a way that you find truly palatable. Um, that happens. And he's not calling you names and stuff. I'm not saying, he's going to cross the line and become verbally or emotionally abusive. That's not what I mean. I mean, he might be telling you something that was traumatic, something that was problematic, something that makes you feel insecure, something that, I don't know, that makes you really sad for him, where you want to cry or something. You got to like rein all that in. Do save that for when you get with your friends or something, or when he's not home, to let those emotions out, because you want him to be able to come to you and tell you the truth and like bare his soul to you. A man who has that kind of emotional connection with you is not going nowhere, and that is very rare. You just don't see. But he wants to tell you everything because you're like his best friend, his soulmate, his buddy, his ace boon coon, and that kind of guy. He can't even see nobody else because you're his everything. And the only way that can ever happen is if you guys are woman enough and tough enough to hear what he's got to say to you without flipping out. Okay, so we're gonna talk about these things because there's sometimes, sometimes you probably need to flip out. But let's talk about this. It's gonna be a long talk. Wait, let me get some water. Woo. Okay, so the first thing you got to understand is that um, a lot of men see the lies that they tell as justifiable because the reason I just told you. Their goal is to win, to conquer. That's like the male thing, to dominate, to control. And anything that threatens that, they will tend to choose a path that's going to keep them feeling dominant, in control, powerful, winning, and conquering. Okay, so think about that. I can't tell you every situation where this is going to happen. I can't. I don't have that kind of time. That would be like the rest of my life. But just keep these issues in mind that I'm talking about. So to me, there's like 6 main areas where people have problems. Well, now actually 7. I'm looking at my list. It's 7. Let me add this in because I might decide to. Okay, 7 big issues in relationships where you're likely to encounter issues that are dealing with untruths. Sexual issues is number 1. Financial issues is number 2. Number 3 is past relationship issues. Number 4 is spirituality issues. Number 5 are psychological issues, which also could, do with your mental health. Number 6, legal issues like child support, stuff like that. Or number 7, to avoid problems, conflict, confrontation, that kind of thing. So those to me are the 7 areas where people have the most conflict and where they're likely to encounter in hearing the most lies. Okay, those 7. So first start by talking about, what is truth? This guy asked me that on Facebook. I'm like, what do you mean? What is truth? He's like, well, is it abstract? Is it a foundational thing? Is it an actual entity? And I'm like, nigga, you been smoking. But anyway, I just blew that away. But to me, if you telling the truth, there's only one truth. I mean, people say, well, truth is from your perspective, and that's not really the truth. I mean, the truth is what is. Now you're going to interpret what is differently, but that still doesn't change what the truth is. Like, okay, you come to a stoplight and the stoplight is red. Now that's supposed to mean that you stop. Well, somebody might say, well, yeah, it was turning red, and so I went through. So we got in an accident. It's your fault because it was only turning red, whereas everybody could see. Okay, well, but red, is red, whether it's turning red or was red for a long time or was red and maybe about to turn green, it's still red. And so red means stop. Okay, red means stop. That's the truth. All these other things that somebody might put on it is their interpretation of the truth. You see what I mean? So there's only one truth. So no matter what people say, there's only one truth. And there's a bunch of different kinds of lies. Now, if you tell the truth, that's when people say you keeping it 100. It's unapologetic, it's unadulterated, unfrosted, unfettered, whatever. It's just out there raw. That's the truth. So let's talk about some of these, these kind of lies people tell. Um, well, there's the bold faced lie, and I'm going to go into more details in a little bit. That's the lie that everybody can see, like saying that somebody, they say, well, they just will say they just had surgery or something. Because I have no friend, I saw she was getting treatment for something, and it's a lady I used to work with, and so everybody went and took her up to the, I went up to the hospital to visit her and stuff, and man, she looked all kinds of fucked up. Okay, I'm talking like scary fucked up. But everybody in the room, girl, you look great. You're doing so well. Now who's gonna go in the room, woman in the hospital bed, just barely surviving with her life and all the shit. She got all kind of stitches in her and what bleeding and what not tubes and shit everywhere, and say, damn, you look fucked up. Who's gonna do that? Who's gonna do that? Okay, so we're gonna tell some kind of little lie, and it's everybody knows you lying. It's just like, there's no way around this kind of lie. Okay, then there's the bluffing kind of lie. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, who's gonna do that? I mean, somebody might do that, but I wouldn't do that. And I know I'm a horrible person, but even I wouldn't do that. So, what about bluffing? Now, in poker, it's not really, like you don't really say that you're lying, but by your actions, you lead people to believe that your hand is better than what it might be. Then again, they never know. You might actually be, would have that, but still, that's a bluff. And guys will do that too. They will call your bluff and do what I call the hoe test. And if you want to see that article and read about that, it's up on my blog, survivingdating.com. It's one of the most popular articles on that site. It's a two-part thing. It talks about the tests that men run, and sometimes it involves lies because they want to see what kind of woman you are, and what kind of things, where your moral stance is. And men they lie about everything. Men lie, they exaggerate, right? That's another one. They exaggerate about their income, their interest in you, their availability, because they lie, don't tell you that they got a girlfriend, a baby mama pregnant, two women pregnant at the same time, or whoa, thank you. We just got $100 donation to the channel. Damn. That is just like, do you see? I can't even talk about yeah. But anyway, yeah, Tiff, look at that. That means you're doing a good job. So, they lie about their accomplishments. I really appreciate that. Wow. Man, okay, my video camera, because see, I want to do video camera where I can go off site and do interviews in the street. That means it's closer and closer. Them bad boys is like over $1,000. I'm like, eesh. Okay. Or the white lie. The little white lie. Where you tell what, it's like, okay, here come your friend, right? And this girlfriend been eating a lot of Twinkies and Snicker bars and stuff like that, and she done put on some weight, and she ain't been going to the gym. She been sitting down and she been eating Snickers and cotton candy and all this kind of stuff, French fries for lunch and whatnot. So she done put on a few pounds, and she, y'all trying to go out, and here she come in this dress. Now the dress, 20 pounds ago looked pretty good on her. But now you seeing all kind of ripples and rolls and back fat flaps and all kind of stuff is going on, and then you don't really know what to say because it's like, this don't look too good. I hope she don't ask me how does this look, and she's gonna ask you, and you don't want to say, girl, that shit don't fit no kind of way no more. You tripping. You're not gonna say that to your friend, even though that's what you're thinking. And so, you tell a little white lie and you say, well, I always like that color on you. See? Which is the truth. You just kind of left out that other part. So, Connie back fat. Oh, we could have a whole video about back fat because in my world as a trainer, I used to have to work on, older women with that back fat a lot. And just, bent over rows, honey, with that dumbbell. Ooh, squeeze back. That'll take care of that. Okay. Lies of omission, leaving out important information with the sole intent of misleading somebody. That's where it comes out where they say, well, we're going through a divorce, or we separated. Well, okay, we're separated because she's working in another state right now, but you still just as married as you were, and you just came back from there last weekend. See, misleading. Or you keep you tell tall tales, which I'll talk about those tall tales. That shit tends to be very funny, and it gets you distracted with you thinking about the possibilities of what he said, and if it could possibly be true, instead of thinking this motherfucker just told me some fantabulous lie. And it was funny, it was creative, it was interesting, but it's still a lie. Okay, so let's talk about this. We're going to talk about these in more detail. Now, remember that movie where Jack Nicholson had that part? He was on trial. I forget the name of it. And Tom Cruise played some a lawyer, and Jack Nicholson played some general or something. And he was doing all kind of crazy stuff at Guantanamo Bay. And just they had his ass up on the stand, and he's like, "The truth, you can't handle the truth." Remember that scene? I'll never forget that scene as long as I live. A lot of women can't handle the truth, and that's what men say. Y'all can't handle the truth, and so for them, it's a few good men. That's right. Thank you. See, I'll watch movies and then the title shoop out of my head. But these guys claim women really do want to be lied to. They really don't want to hear the truth. They would rather hear a beautiful lie than an ugly truth. And just judging by some conversations I've had with women, even through my advice column, I kind of have to agree with them because, the women will write a letter and tell me all this wild, funky stuff the dude is doing. And then in the letter, they're writing me now. I don't know these women from a hole in the ground. They went on my website and filled out the form seeking advice. And then in the letter, they're telling me, please don't tell me, to break up with him because this and that. Okay, and I used to write them back and stuff, when I was younger and had time to waste. Now I just look at that shit and they start trying to tell me what to do. Delete. You don't tell me what to do. You writing me for my advice and my perspective and some solutions, then I will give it to you, but only if you want to hear them. So when somebody, I don't never force my stuff on anyone. So by them saying that, see, if I said something, that would be like me trying to insist I'm going to tell them what to do. And I don't do that anymore. I finally, the light came on. I don't know, many years ago, more than a decade ago. And I realized, what am I doing? I'm not doing that. If they want to hear it, then I will be happy to help you. But those who write in the letter and tell me they don't want to hear it, delete. Okay. So let's, because fiction is more believable to some women. You got to think about it. If you have a situation where the truth is very complicated and it's going to require a lot of thought. It's going to require maturity to, absorb all the information he's telling you. A lot of women just don't want to do that kind of thinking. They don't want to do that kind of self-reflection. They just want to keep that Disney thing going in their head about what this relationship is. So the guys will think up this complex lie with twists and turns and, over the hill and beyond and Dale and underwater and then, around the world and back through China and back up over through Alaska. And so she's like dizzy with all the words he uses, right? Because he really ain't saying, she just using a bunch of words. And so at the end of it, he says, so that's what happened. And she's like, okay. And then it's over. That's it. So, a lot of women are very easy to manipulate like that. It's true. Y'all don't be trying to act like you don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Even if it's not you, I know you witnessed it. And then what about the women who, okay, they say, I know he's cheating. I know he was at some bitch's house. I know okay. So they have all this conviction, right? They just have, facts. They just ready to go. They, all like, I know you got nigga, we about to go to Fifth City. Okay. So they know all the stuff. So then they say, I'm going to ask him. Okay. Now you already said you have the facts. So what are you asking him? Really? What? Where they do that at? So then they ask the guy, of course he's going to lie, because even if he was doing all those things, that doesn't mean he wants the relationship to end. He just wants you and those things. So he sees what time it is, right? So he starts coming up with some super fantabulous lies to calm you down. And so, that's the thing. It's like you guys sometimes you set yourself up to be like, it's like you tell him, I know you lying. Okay, but what you're doing by saying that is you're asking him to lie to you because you want to hear the lie. See, otherwise you would be done with him because you have all these facts, right? So the fact that you still chasing after him and talking about, what you tell me the truth, they can tell me the truth. I want to know the truth. You're asking him to lie to you. That's what that exchange means. Please lie to me. I understand it. Because all he's gonna do is tell you it's not true. And all you're gonna keep doing is saying yes it is. And then but you ain't going nowhere. So why are you bothered? Just sit down somewhere and shut up. Stop talking. Oh, okay. Let me move on to my thing. Okay. So then here's my next one. So that was one. The half truth to shut you up because you're too damn nosy. Now, we talked about this a little bit the other day. I told you about the woman at the gym who was asking me how old I was. And I didn't particularly lie to her. I could have. But I just chose to toy with her a little bit, toy with her mind by playing that avoidance game with her. But, men will do that sometimes, but sometimes they'll just lie to you because they want you to stop talking. They want you to stop asking them stupid questions that they obviously have no intention of answering. And I don't know why you guys keep doing that. The motherfucker's lying. I mean, he's leaving out pertinent information because the story don't make no sense, right? You try to connect dots and there's all kind of holes here. This shit is raggedy, but yet you still, want to deal with him anyway. I don't know. But if you are nosy, like into a dude, right? He has, say, an ex or something, and it was a rather contentious separation, and maybe he don't really want to talk about it because it just pisses him off all over again. But oh no, here you come. Well, we need to talk about what happened. Why y'all break up? And so he starts, getting all like hair on his neck, starts standing up because he don't really want to talk about that bitch. Because if he starts talking about the bitch, that means he's thinking about the bitch. And he's not trying to think about the bitch because when he thinks about the bitch, he gets mad all over again. But no, do you respect that? Nope. Here you go. Well, you had never told me anything about your other relationship. Why did it end? What role did you play? Well, what did you learn from that relationship? And it's like, what the fuck are you, somebody's counselor now? Leave that man alone. See, you set yourself up to be lied to. He just wants you to leave him alone. He wants you to just sit down somewhere, just shut up, just leave him alone. But no, you want to ask questions. It's the same thing if you got this is even if you have a female friend, because I had one who was just, it's like this girl was just had nosy as hell. So, I have some new man in my life and I'm, all smiles because, shit is popping. Hey. Okay, so she sees all this, shitty grin, and so she's like, "Well, girl, what's really going on? What's happening?" And I don't really want to talk about it because I don't want to talk about all that kind of stuff with her. She wasn't like no bestie or nothing, and just some peripheral person that I knew. And she's like, "Well, you grinning and stuff. It must be good. Was it good, girl? Was it good? How big is it?" She asked me that, and I was like, "What? Why do you think I would tell you some personal information like that?" And I'm like, this just these people are just too much. So of course she got lied to. I'm like, yeah. She asked to be lied to. Yeah, it was definitely that was a nunya. But I'm telling you, this is the kind of stuff that people will get. See, and that, like I said, that was a woman. And, she was asking too much. Now, let's talk about the lies that some men tell because they want to blow themselves up. They're trying to impress you. They want to make a good impression on you and all this kind of stuff. The only problem with that is they are not feeling too good about themselves. They're just basically trying to puff themselves up, with falseness or gross exaggerations of the truth. Like for instance, say a guy played in college, he played basketball or football or something, he played on a team. Well, suddenly when he tells a story, He was the star quarterback. He made like every touchdown of the team ever made in the history of the 4 years he was at the college. The whole team counted on him. He was like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant rolled into one. That's how fantabulous this nigga was. And he just didn't make it into the NBA because he hurt his knee. See? So he's puffing himself up, trying to make himself sound like he's more than what he is. And unfortunately, a lot of women, will fall for that. They like, oh, girl, he had a chance to do it. He was going to be in the NBA. I wish I could have met him in those days. Blah, 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 blah. That nigga lying. That nigga ain't on nobody's draft. He wasn't, no. That kind of stuff is easy to check out these days. But they do that because they want you to get involved with him, right? He wants you to be like all impressed and mesmerized and think he's like the best and the greatest and the most wonderfulest and all the stuff. And so that he can get, you involved in a relationship with him and feeling, attached to him and everything, involved with him, maybe moving in with him, all kind of stuff before you find out the truth. That's why they do that. They don't really feel very secure in who and what they are. And they feel like by themselves they're not enough, so they add all the stuff on. I think it's the idea of rejection is what sends them running. They want to keep you around. They really like you, or they like the image of you. It could be that, like, he doesn't really like you as a person. He just like what you represent. Like, say he's like, I don't know, some knucklehead, and then you are a PhD or something, and so to him you're like this catch he can brag about and all this kind of stuff. So he's gonna like blow himself up. Instead of just being a mechanic who works at a shop, he's gonna be the owner. All this kind of stuff. He's going to blow shit up to where it's not true. So, watch for that. Like I always tell you guys, what they do and what they say need to match up. All their stories need to match up and be consistent over a period of time. If you start seeing things that have holes in it, understand that the game is afoot and, pay attention and protect yourself. Now let's talk about the lies of omission, the half-truths. This is the most common, I think, because again, they know that if they tell you the whole truth and nothing but the truth, you're going to flip the fuck out. So say, for instance, he's going bowling with his friends, right? And then when he gets there, these are all singles, dudes. One of his friends brings his girlfriend, and then the girlfriend brings her friend, and they try to hook this friend up with your man. Now, he don't go for it. It's an awkward situation. Maybe he hasn't really told them about you yet. So it wasn't like with any malice or anything. They didn't know he was dating somebody. It could always be completely innocent. But he's thinking about it. See, remember how I said he's going to be like, if I tell her this whole thing, it's going to hurt her feelings and she's going to flip the fuck out. But if I don't tell her the whole thing, we're going to have an evening of cuddles and kisses and some booty. Lie it is. So, you got to think about that. I mean, he might not have really done anything. It's not like he cheated on you or anything. It was something out of his control. But I mean, these are the kinds of situations that happen where there's any possibility for drama. He's going to weigh it, and he's going to decide not to tell you the whole story because he don't want to hear it. He don't want your lip stuck out. He don't want you cussing him out, throwing shit, threatening him to leave with the relationship, all kind of stuff, when it's nothing really to be bothered about. And even if it is something to be bothered about, his thinking process is going to still be the same. You have to decide if that kind of happiness, based on half information, is what you really want or not. Because sometimes it's like, you might be out with a dude, right? He's out with some female, and your friend sees him, and maybe he hasn't screwed the woman yet. Maybe they are just friends right now. So your friend's like, who's this? And he's like, oh, this is a friend from work and blah blah blah, such and such and so, and introduces them and talk about work and all that stuff. But what he's leaving out is that he's very interested in old girl, and if she would have him, he would be with her instead of with your girlfriend. So stuff like that happens too. But there's really nothing you can do about it because he's going to give you the information that's comfortable for him to give. You cannot force it. All you can do is, if you don't feel comfortable, I keep telling you all this, if the man's not giving you the relationship that you want, you have every right for any reason at all to end it. Okay. And the most dangerous thing is if you're in a situation and you're asking a guy information about them, because this is before you get into the relationship, right? And you're looking for the full disclosure. You want everything on the table, because that's the only way that you can really make an honest and real assessment of if this relationship makes sense or not. And he withholds information then in order to coerce you into being in a relationship with him. See, then that's some foul shit right there. That's coercion, and it's very manipulative, and that's narcissistic to boot. So that I have a problem with. But I'm just saying, for the other things, you got to understand, he's not only trying to protect you and your feelings, he's trying to, um, keep the relationship on an even keel. So that's why I say now, I'm telling you guys all of these things because I want you to go away and think about them in situations that you may have been in where this kind of thing happened. Consider the environment between the two of you. Was it like fraught with tension and, distrust and, fighting and accusations? Or were the two of you like this, and he just spill his guts and just tell you everything? So you have to kind of think about that and how much you can handle. So, I was telling this, this part about telling, the truth to people. This one guy was telling me, well, you like to tell people the truth and stuff. Sometimes that comes off as being rude. I'm like, how can that be rude? I mean, we're like adults, everybody in their 40s and beyond. So it's like, you still in your feelings like you was like a teenager or something, some adolescent, so that you can't handle hearing the truth about situations. You want other people to, like be quiet and sit in the corner and not tell you stuff because, you're going to get in your feelings about it. A lot of the guys do that when they come to the channel, right? We're talking about issues that we've actually experienced as women, things that have happened to us. This is our fucking reality, right? It's our truth. These things happen to us. Men have said these things to us. Men have done these things to us, and we don't like it, and we're talking about it. Here they come. You hate black men. What does this have to do with hating anybody? We're talking about what they did. We can hate their behavior. We don't have to hate them as a person because we don't fucking know them as people. We don't like what they do, though. And so, but instead of just dealing with that, they get all in their feelings. They don't want to hear that truth. They don't want to hear that reality. They want to be lied to and, fluffed up and, made to feel like, all black men rather are angels with wings and a halo. Then let's talk about these other kind of lies, the bald face, what I call bald face fuckery types of lies. This is something when, they just like come just with straight false information. Like, I don't know. Or, I don't have no kids. No, I ain't never been to jail. You run a background search. Motherfucker been married 3 times, got 9 kids, and been in prison for, 5 different times for assault and robbery and all kind of other stuff, right? Okay. You what? That kind of stuff. It's they tell like some really just ridiculous lies. As a kid, they used to make that famous joke about, I don't have my home because my dog ate it. That's a bald face fuckery lie too. Dudes will do bald face fuckery lies when they say, that they're single, for instance. But that's another, well, let me just stop there because that's another aspect. Under those lies those are called the fuckery. This is bald face fuckery, but then there's just fuckery where they're trying to get some booty. We'll talk about that in a minute. Then there's the little white lies, right? The little white lies, fibs, my grandmother used to call them, little fibs. They're still lies too, but they're generally considered less harmful, if any harm at all, because they come in quite handy sometimes because you just want to, just keep the peace in a situation like at work or amongst family, because, it keeps the peace. Like a family gathers where a bunch of people can't stand each other. You kind of tell one fib to another so that everybody just cool and chill while they're there. And you see this a lot in horror movies or, war movies, right? Somebody gets shot with some shrapnel or something and they land there and, guts hanging out, blood everywhere. And then here comes their buddy. Hang in there. Hang in there. You can make it. You're strong. We're going to get out of here. Okay. Fibs galore. Just lies, just flat out fib land. The person knows they're dying. They're knowing it. But you telling them all this fantabulous lie and shit to make them feel better. That's what those little white lies do. They make people feel better. Um, from women, I made a note here. Women tell lies to men too, like, yes, I came. Yours is the biggest. That was the best I ever had. Oh my God. And that's just the way it is. And generally, these kind of lies are told to make your partner or friend or whatever feel better. You don't want to hurt them. You love them, you care about them, but they put you in a situation where if you told them the truth, all hell would break loose. Like, for instance, say you are, you know, your man cooked, right? Or your woman cooked as a dude. Okay, your woman cooked and she's not that good of a cook, but you told her that you like, I don't know, tamale pie. You like tamale pie. And so she gonna look on the internet and she gonna find a recipe for tamale pie. And she's gonna make tamale pie for you. Now she made this for you, right? Because she don't eat tamale pie. This is what you like. So she invites you over and you all excited because you like, ooh wee, I'm gonna have some tamale pie. And you get to the house and something don't smell right. Don't smell right. And then when you see the tamale pie, it don't look right either. It's like, oh, this is a true story. That's why I'm laughing so hard. Oh my God. I don't know what the fuck this was this girl thought she made. And I have to tell you about this friend of mine who tried to make gumbo. I could not hold back. Well, let me finish the tamale pie story first. So, dude was like, he really liked this girl, and he knows that, she did this. She trying to please him, right? She was so excited, because she made this travesty in a pan. And so he sits down, he was telling me about it. I thought I was going to die. I was, and now people take pictures of their food. He took pictures. We was looking at that shit. I couldn't even breathe. I was laughing so hard. And so she put the plate down there and, they got the thing and he's just sitting in his plate and he's like, Deb, I don't know what she did. The onions, she didn't saute the onions, so they were still like half cooked in this stuff. He's like, the cornmeal stuff on the top was doughy. Anyway, he went on and on about this tamale travesty, and I thought I was going to die. I don't have the pictures. I should have thought to get them from him, but he probably deleted them because he didn't want her to find them in his phone. But I'm telling you, that was the most hilarious shit. But see, he told her he ate it, and he chewed the onions and he gummed down that cornmeal topping. And then, he just said, baby, that was great for he, tried to build up and say, for your first time, that wasn't too bad. I'm sure you get better and maybe I'll get my mother to give you her recipe, trying to save thing and all of this. So see, he told her, he lied to her basically. He lied to her, but he did it because he cared. He didn't want to hurt her feelings. He didn't want her to feel bad about her, attempt to help to please him and her, early forays in the kitchen because girlfriend just could not. He was a way better cook than her. And as I heard later, he was taking over the kitchen and she just did the dishes and that probably saved his life. But, stuff like that. You got to think about the psychological effect that you being so blunt and rude to somebody, might have. Now, Deborah doesn't care about those things. Let me tell you about this girl, this coach she called gumbo. This is when I still ate meat. So she's like, damn, I'm gonna make some gumbo. Now I have some pictures of some gumbo that I made, which I may figure out how to display at some point. I kept the pictures because, it was like, damn, I used to be a good cook and stuff. So, it's supposed to have like the crab leg in there and the shrimps and stuff. You see chunks of sausage, okra, all this stuff. Okay. Nice dark roux, the whole thing. This girl, let me tell you what this girl did. She took some bottles of clam juice. Those bottles of clear clam juice? She had some clam juice. She pours it in a pot. Now I'm sitting at the kitchen table. I'm watching this because I'm wondering what the fuck she's making because this is not gumbo. So she takes a can. She opened a can. Yes. Oh my fucking God, is right. Because I'm telling you, wait till I tell you. Okay, she took the can. She had some canned crab. She dumps that in there. Then she takes some canned shrimp, which I didn't even know they had cans and shrimp in cans. I'd never seen no shit like that before. And she dumps that in there. And then she put some canned oysters and she dumped that in there too. And then I just want onion flakes or something. I mean, onion, some spices and stuff she put in there. And then she stirred it up. And then she had cooked some rice, and then she dumped some of this over the rice. So I'm watching this, right? I didn't dare say anything because I'm thinking, okay, at some point she's gonna make a rule to add to this. I mean, something different is gonna be happening. And that's what she put on the bowl in front of me. And me with my crazy ass, what the fuck is this? And she says, this is gumbo. I said, no, 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 no. This is not gumbo. I don't know what the fuck this is, but this is not gumbo. And she's like, well, this is the way my daddy always made it. What did I say? Yo, daddy can't fucking cook, man. That's what I said. And we were friends, for not too much longer after that because A, how dare you serve me some shit like that? You had me invited me over to your house to serve me gumbo and you give me this? I mean, what? Who does that? Oh, that shit was so disgustingly nasty. I just never, canned chicken, canned shrimp. Ugh. It was gross. I mean, like gross to the 9,000th power. So that's what I'm saying. I could understand. So anyway, I shared all those stories with you because I wanted to express to you how I could understand and side with the dude who might choose to tell you a pretty little white lie about something that you did or said or wore or something rather than tell you the truth because it's just going to hurt you unnecessarily. You know what I mean? He's not going to do that. Yeah, the green face, honey, haunty. Let me tell you, that shit was gross. I just never, I'm holding the spoon, it's just dripping down like liquid, just liquid. And it's like clams. Who uses clams in gumbo? They oysters, yes, not clams. So, I'm like, okay, I don't know what this is supposed to be. But anyway, that's, the part about telling you stuff to make you feel better. So I hope, that all that sinks into. Because it's the same thing. Like, doctors still somebody got like a week to live. Well, you might want to start wrapping up your affairs. I'd give you, 3 months or so, maybe 6. Knowing that motherfucker got 2 weeks tops. But you want to give people hope. You don't want to just send them out and say, you gonna die. So you don't want to say that to somebody. So, you tell them something that's going to make them feel a little bit better when they leave. They still going to die and they know they're going to die. But you kind of put some frosting on it. Okay, so we already talked about that. How about the lies that men tell? I'm just telling you. The lies that men tell because they want to avoid being punished. I think you guys don't really understand how afraid most men are of women's anger. And that's what a lot of, you hold it in because you're just such a sweetie pie, honey bunch type of woman. That's why they love you so much. But see, women like me, I was like, motherfucker, what? And just fly into a rage because I tell people I'm not shy, but I have a horrible temper. I've had a horrible temper since probably birth. It's just, part of who I am. And, I let dudes know, you better stay on my good side. I tell you what all the boundaries are. You won't decide to cross them. See, there's a decision. And then everything that happens to you and said to you after that, that means you wanted it to happen because otherwise you wouldn't have crossed the boundary that I already told you was going to result in these repercussions. So, you wanted to try me. And so now it's time, repercussion city. But, if you have, you got to, understand that that's going to be one of the key reasons why they get so creative. I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm not saying you have to take it. What we're just doing right now is exploring some of the reasons and the motivations behind the lying. Okay. And if you can, in any situation where you're really in a close relationship with a guy that, you guys are married, you're trying to make it work, you're doing stuff, you have to think about, okay, how can I facilitate better communication, open communication, and steel myself for hearing his truths? What can I do to make that happen? What kind of things can I maybe work on about myself that would make it change the environment where he would feel comfortable. It would create this environment of safety for both of us to share and be who and what we are. What can we do together to make sure that that happens? He provides that for me, I provide that to him, and then we have a relationship that is a full frontal relationship where we know everything about each other. There's no surprises, and there's no lies, no manipulation, no coercion, no half truths, no nothing. Okay, and that way you can always trust each other. That's really hard to do, I think, for some people. Another kind of lie that men tell is what I call the might be true someday in the future, maybe possibly lie. I know that's a long name, but what they do here is they take a situation that has promise. It could happen. It could happen. It may be even on its way to happening if he completes, these steps, these programs, this whatever he's doing. But these are like a guy who's in law school, right? He knows enough. He's maybe in his, second year, whatever. He's working some internship or something. So he gets up and he goes to this law firm every day. He's an intern. But suddenly, when he's at the bar, oh, I'm an attorney at Smith and Jones PC. Yes, I'm new. I just passed the bar in the spring, so I'm not really that experienced. But yes, I'm an attorney. At this firm. So okay, now she's thinking, if she's that kind of woman that was looking for a husband with, providing security and stuff. He's young, he's handsome, he's obviously educated, he's got a great job, a great future. That's like trifecta, right? So he gonna talk himself into some booty. He knows this. So in that case, it's like a coercive tactic, and he's not really an attorney, but he might be someday. So see, that's what they do. They kind of like, it's future talk. It's like, okay, that's if you don't drop out of law school and get kicked out the firm for failing the internship. There's a lot of it's not guaranteed. Or like a guy who's in the police academy, right? He's a trainee. He's not no, he hasn't been sworn in. He don't have no badge, but he will go out and tell people, yes, I'm an undercover cop. That's why I'm dressed like this. And he knows just enough to say some of the lingo. He knows the stations and some of the officers and whatnot. So it sounds believable, right? Because they can give a mixture of truth and half truth. So it sounds believable if you don't really know what's going on. You might buy it. Or you might have a guy who, oh yes, he might be like a very creative type, an inventor or something. He invented something, and he's talking about his patent or whatever. Now the motherfucker ain't tried to get no patent yet because he had to pay a patent attorney to do it, and it costs money that he don't have. So he's in his head talking about what's going to happen in the future. And so then suddenly he has a patent and it's worth all this money, and Apple computers, he personally spoke to Bill Gates on the phone, and Bill Gates wants his product, his thing, and he going to be rich someday. He going to be a multimillionaire because he going to sell his shit, to Apple or Microsoft or whatever. See, that kind of stuff. But they do that a lot, so you have to know enough about what's going on in a lot of different industries to know what these do when they're trying to run this kind of game. Then we get into the main number one lie of all time, what I call a tap that ass lie. These are the lies that men tell because they want to get some. And they're going to tell you whatever you want to hear, whatever they think you want to hear in order to make that happen. Let me look at this chat over here before I get into this too much. You bet you heard them all. Oh, this is too funny. It's like this is a collection of shit that I've heard over the years. It's like men ain't shit. They all got the same tired ass games going all the time. It's like they don't have nothing new under the sun. It's just really sad when you meet the young girls. They don't know these games. That's why I'm here though, because I want to let them I want them to see the stuff that they're hearing and stuff what they're experiencing. It's not new. It's not new at all. It's the same old shit over and over and over and over. And they they need to understand what the games are, and then they can recognize them, and then they can protect themselves from it. That's my goal. Oh yeah, that's it. I've never met someone like you. Lies. I'm divorced. Not. I'm single. Not. I haven't had sex in blank. That's one that's like, I've been celibate for so long. and this and that. Oh, here the ladies are coming up with some good ones in the chat room. Um, I can't live without you. God sent you to me. I love you. After knowing you just one day. Yeah, remember the letter from the girl the other day? She had moved some guy in after she met, and she had just recently met, like she's like a couple of days. He wanted to move in with her because he was so in love. Hmm. Um, and this one, then why did you guys break up? She cheated on me. That's why we broke up. They always want to put the blame on her. And goofy women be falling for it. I'm the kind of guy that does this and that for my woman. I like to spoil my woman. Nigga, you can't even spoil a carton of milk. So it's like, what you talking about? You sit down some damn where. I'm a nice guy. You women only want thugs. You don't want a nice guy like me. Or I take care of my kids. Nigga, when's your kid's birthday? What'd you get your kids for the birthday? When's the last time you seen a kid? What size shoe does your kids wear? What kind of grades did your kid get on his or her report card? Let's talk about that. Did you go to parent teacher conference? You been to one of your kids' games? See, you start asking a question like that, niggas start stuttering. So, it's like, I take care of my kids. It's more than just sending that little $200 child support. You need to be there. And you're not there, then you ain't taking care of no kid. Damn it, fuck you. Okay, so those are just comments, somebody got, all my women are satisfied, because girl, I'll tear that shit up out. This how, like Richard Pryor said in his record. And that, I don't know. Um, then they be coming up, yeah, I'm good at sex kind of thing, you look so beautiful. You look so, they gonna wear you out with that. It's like designed to get you distracted, the fact that he thinks you're just so beautiful and so wonderful and so special, that, he's just so mesmerized by your fabulous beauty that he can't even think straight. A lot of them fall for that. Or, no, you don't look fat in those clothes. Like I said, no, you look like you just like a sausage squeezed in a casing. You're nothing like your mother. I like Democrat. I voted Democrat too. I voted Republican too. I like bowling too. Lying. I like Brussels sprouts too. Whatever you like, whatever you do, he gonna like it too because he's trying to get in your pants. Oh yes, I'm a feminist. Did you used to be a model? Oh, yeah, the Me Too dudes. I'm telling you. And then the main reasons, the other reasons, men lie because they want to get away with stuff. This is when it becomes a little bit more insidious because now they're starting to lie because they want to create an alternate reality for you, right? They don't want you to know what's really going on because they want to have like live two different lives. These are the kind of guys who want to get away with stuff of like the guys who are on the DL, right? So they're married, they got a family, they got a wife, they're, a community man, but he disappears for a few hours every week or two. And he's over, some gay bar or something, getting busy, in the glory hole or whatever. And so, that or he has a full out boyfriend, but he's lying to you because he wants to live this double life and he wants to control what you do and what you think and all these other kinds of things. Those are the worst ones. He doesn't want the confrontation that is inevitable if you found out the truth. So he avoids it as long as possible. And by him having you living this fantasy life, so it puts him in a position of power and control and dominance. And I keep telling you, it's just really unfortunate, but that seems to be what most men's thing is when it comes to women. They just want to control you. I don't know what the fuck that is all about and why somebody really just wants to control other people. But that seems to be an overwhelming theme in every single interaction that men have with women. It's all about getting her to do what I want her to do. All about manipulation and control. Every single goddamn thing. So in this final part, well, no, I guess I do have two more things to talk about. They want to avoid, they don't want to tell you the truth. And I kind of touched on this, but this is another key area where lies are pretty much guaranteed to be told, where you're not going to get the truth because he wants to avoid any and all drama, any expression of emotions, your tears, your throwing stuff, throwing tantrums, slamming out the door and disappearing out of his life, cussing him out, disappearing out of his life, throwing his ass out on the street, moving out, this kind of stuff where it signals a lot of anxiety for him because he wants things to be the same, be comfortable for him without regard for how it is for you. So, he's going to lie to you for that reason too. Now that again, this, we went from like the little things where they're doing it because they don't want to hurt you to these kind of things do hurt you. These are the kind of things that will blow a relationship up and put it, right into divorce court if you're married or into breakup land if you're single. The other thing, we got to figure, some dudes will just lie just for the fun of it, just to be just for entertainment value. They don't have any real reason. There's nothing wrong. They ain't afraid of nothing. They're not dodging any kind of responsibility or accountability or anything. They just lie just because they want to lie. Because it's Tuesday and it's sunny. They lie. So when you have guys like this, it's gonna be I don't know. It's gonna depend on what what your tolerance level is. Like say, he left work early and went to a bar with some dudes who also left work early, and he come home drunk, right? What are you doing coming home drunk? Oh, we had to work late. And then, some of the guys and I, we were just so upset. We had to work late. We stopped at a bar and had a few drinks. Oh, I guess I had one too many. Not saying, I've been at this bar drinking since 4 o'clock and I wasn't supposed to go to work till 6. But then, he conveniently leaves that part out. But, has you thinking that he was just, knocking back some with his friend. And in reality, they in the bar, they flirting with the women, he just doing the most. And, but he's doing that because that's safer for him. That's the safest thing. Now, can a guy be too honest? Can he be too honest with you? What do you guys think? Yes? Yes? Oh, okay. Seems to be the overwhelming majority agree. Yes, too honest. Yeah. Okay. Um, if he's a piece of shit. Okay, so here's a no. Tactfully. Okay, okay. So it's a little bit of a mixture, but it seems like mostly yes. Okay, what is it too honest? When you ask them a question that will affect your relationship, how can that be too honest? I don't think there is such a thing as too honest. If it's gonna, it's directly affecting the union between the two of you. Like say you ask him, which don't ask a question you ain't prepared to get the honest and whole truthful answer to, because he may blurt out some shit that hurt your feelings back to birth, because that's how deep it cuts. So if you aren't prepared mentally or emotionally to hear what he might say, don't ask questions, just shut up, don't ask. Because then you asking and he might be like me, and I always give people a chance. They ask me something that I know is gonna hurt their feelings. I say, okay, do you want the edited version or do you want the truth? And they usually will think about it for a minute and then they always say the truth. That's a mistake. Don't do that. Then you're going to get it. You're going to get broadsided with some flat out shit that you really are not really wanting to hear. But, I give people a choice. I give them a choice. Now, if all they have to say is just, tell me the edited version. And then, I'll give them the edited version. It might be a little bit hurtful, but it's not going to be like the blunt, unfrosted, sharp edge truth that just makes you go, my heart, Too much true. That was too much true. Yeah, everybody has to be confident and ready to, hear what's about to go on. But I think that there's some things that, as a couple, especially if you're a mature couple, like, most of the people that come here, at least in their 30s, are about to be 30 something, mature adults. And, if you can't bear to hear the truth at this point about somebody who's supposed to be your partner, we got a problem, Houston. You have to get stuff out on the table. Like if there's something about that you do or something that he does that really, really, really gets on your nerves to the point where you are like, I can't take this shit no more. I need to, leave you alone. Because love people with the good and the bad and all that stuff, but there's certain things like after so long, it starts to weigh on you, nags you after death, and you can't, it really can impact your peace of mind and therefore your relationship. So, like this one girl, she wrote in and she's like, every time she's with her boyfriend, he wants to grab her boobs. And she's like, was always being pawed on and she didn't like it. She wanted him to stop. And she told him she wanted him to stop and he didn't stop. He just kept doing it anyway. Try to flip it around, turn it, that something was wrong with her. And it's like, no, something's wrong with you that you can't stop touching her boobs. What the fuck is wrong with you? Grow your own then. Claim that your ass is trans and grow your own boobs and touch them. How about that? You know what I mean? It's like you just doing the most. You're doing way too much. And so in a situation like that, she was being all nice and everything with him but what she really knew was jump back and say, look here, motherfucker, you touch my boobs one more time when we're not in bed about to fuck or something, I'm going to stab your ass. I'm going to cut your fucking fingers off and you won't be able to touch shit, including your dick. You'll be sitting down to pee like me. I'll, just talk crazy to him. And then every time, carry a knife around and let him see you with the hole in the knife. And as you start reaching for your chest, jab his ass with it. I bet you he'll quickly get a little, pinhole bleeding everywhere. Motherfucker will start to keep his hands to himself. But, on the other hand, maybe she don't want to go through all them changes and she just leave him. But it didn't seem like it. It seemed like, she was writing because she wanted some tactics to deal with him, to make it stop. So he was being very honest about his intentions with her. He just want to feel on her all the time, feel on her titties all the time. And she, I felt, needed to be more honest with him to tell him how that made her feel disgusted, and it made her have a low opinion of him, and it made her not want to be in a relationship anymore because she felt like a piece of meat. See, that's honesty coming from both camps, and until you have that kind of thing where you can really deal with each other, so you really know what's on each other's mind, and you have that kind of safe environment where you can do so. It's, you always like on your company manners and stuff, and that's fine, I guess, for early dating. But if you're gonna really try to settle into something where y'all gonna grow old together and stuff, you got to be a little bit more real than that. My cousin calls it breaking the fart barrier. It's just it's a euphemism for reaching a certain level of comfort and honesty and openness with your partner, so you don't run to the bathroom like you still in early phase of dating, or you in a company's house and fart in the bathroom, light matches and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, that's what she called it. I'll never forget that. But so that's what I wanted to say about the types of lies men tell and why they tell them. And if you guys, you ladies rather, can handle hearing this kind of stuff, because um, it's hard to have a relationship that's long term and stuff if you can't handle hearing stuff that might make you a little bit uncomfortable. All right. It's, you want to create an environment where your man, he might be nervous. He's going to swallow and he's going to be nervous. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be, all courageous about it, but you want him to feel like if he tells you the truth, even if it's something that he knows you're not going to really like to hear that much, that you're going to be okay, that the relationship's going to be okay, and that you two will get past it. You talk it out. You might be mad at him for a while, but you talk it out and you guys will work it out together and be stronger for it. Okay, that's the environment that you want to foster. And I'm not putting it solely on you, sirs. You need to do the same shit. Don't be sitting up there being all judgmental, because men have a tendency to be judgmental about women's desire to experience new, things sexually. And then they want to be like, oh, where you learn that shit at? You ain't never told me about who you fucking doing that shit. Okay, so then it turns into this whole big deal where she doesn't feel safe, exploring that side of herself because you're so fucking judgmental and condemning and like a goddamn fool. So she shuts that down. So all you get is the missionary position, and that's all you deserve because you're stupid. Okay. But yeah. So I'm hoping that by the time I come back to do the next live stream, let's see, today is Wednesday. Well, I always threaten to go to happy hour on Friday, but I'm tired. I doubt that's going to happen. So probably over the weekend. And I hope to have my my new live stream, dual streaming thing all set up by then, and so we'll have a new look for the stream for you guys. All right. Remember, send in your subject ideas, your topical ideas. Do not post them on the channel. I don't always see those, and you'll be disappointed when I don't respond. Send them, like I said, at the top of the channel here. It says Get Advice, that little button. Click that, and it'll take you to the question submission form on surviving dating. Just fill that out. It has releases for me so that I have, your permission to answer the question and publicize it for the channel and all the stuff. And then you also have, any ideas that you have for dating advice questions that you want answered live. I do that too on the fly. I read them. I answer the questions right here, on the air, right in front of you. You can do that too. Same thing. Just use that advice submission form. And I want to thank my donors and my Patreon subscribers and the people that make contributions to help this channel grow. All of you who helped by sharing those links, good, great job, you guys, because I can't do it by myself. I depend on you guys to help. And my moderators, they do a great job. And these ladies, they don't even really know me, but they believe in what I'm trying to do. So they sit in to kind of help out and keep the troll population to a minimum. And, I thank everybody really for coming and for supporting the channel and believing in what I'm trying to do here. You guys have all been so wonderful, treating me so well. And I really, really appreciate the sisterhood and support that you provide, not only to me, but to each other. It's a very warm environment here. I just really love it. So I will see you all very soon, just a couple of days, probably Saturday. I'm trying to get this shit all wrapped up and get it tight. And then we will get together again. Hopefully you can join me, and we'll see what happens. We'll make some magic happen. All right. Thanks, you guys. Love you. See you soon.